cold.
It's so cold.
YouTube, welcome back to another instalment from the Line Bites channel. I'm here with one of my closest mates and oldest fishing buddies, Alan, or Landers as he's known. We've been fishing together probably about 10 years now, since he got into it, since we introduced him to it, me and another friend, and yeah, he's been fishing ever since. So coming towards the end of November now, and the weather's properly switched, hasn't it?
Baltic.
It's absolutely Baltic. And Alan's been blanking his tits off on his club water up north, and the campaign that I've got on my Cotswolds water has not been going to plan, although I have been making positive steps in the right direction in terms of fish catching and things like that, which you'll see at the end of the winter campaign when I do an episode there. So we decided, what's better than this but to come to a water that's renowned for doing winter bites, Drayton Res. We fished here maybe once every couple of years for the last 5-6 years. It's a good place to come for a bite, and yeah, we decided that this is probably our best chance before heading properly into winter, as we're just finishing off autumn now. It's coming up about 3:30, but we've been here a few hours now. The sun's finally out. When we first got here, it was torrential rain, and all we could do was just about get the bivvy set up before we had to take shelter. So now we've properly set up. We're not in a particular bad place. We're here for 48 hours, and the weather's supposed to be up and down during that 48 hours. The pressure's going to drop below 1,000. I think it's about 990, 995 bar, so that's a good thing. But with this cold wind that we've got and the rain, I think it's really going to affect the fishing. Speaking to some of the locals, when we were walking around, they said it's been fishing tough. And there's a match on this weekend. We have seen a few fish coming out, but I mean, in terms of pegs, I don't think we're where either of us would really want to be fishing this time of year for this sort of session, are we?
We're down at the shallows.
Yeah, so I mean, when we rang up, the only place that we could get onto was peg 14 and 15, which is, yeah, I'd say, if you're being generous, the top end of the shallows before the main body of water opens out and heads down towards the dam wall. So it's not the shallowest part of the lake, but it is one of the shallower, and if I was a betting man, with this wind and the rain that we've got, the fish are going to be over in that main body of water, where it's deep. I mean, I'd love to have been on the point for this session. I think that would have been the real peg for us to fly on, but we're out fishing, and we're going to get a couple of takeaways and just have a catch up, because you've been busy with family life, haven't you?
Certainly have. Yeah, it's been a mad couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, just to preface that, we have seen each other more recently than a couple of years, but yeah, he's had a kid now, and with me moving down south and things like that, we haven't properly seen each other since July or August, whenever that session at M Lake was.
Yeah, July, I think.
Yeah.
July.
So yeah, it's I don't know if I'm feeling confident or not. How are you feeling? You're normally more positive than me.
Yeah, we'll get a bite.
We'll get a bite. It'd be embarrassing if we come straight and blank, but you know, touch wood. Speaking of wood, the boards here, Jesus Christ, I've never, it's like ice. As you'll have just seen there in the outtake, I nearly sent the back of the chair and myself into the lake. Both of us have nearly gone in now a few times, so it's slippery as anything. Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's starting to waffle now. So what we'll do is we'll call it there. We'll cut some nice B-roll of us setting up and yeah, doing a bit of spotting out. Hey?
Spotting.
Miss Landers cracking off with his marker float, which would have been hilarious. Anyway, if you enjoy this channel, and you're enjoying the content that I put out, I promise I will start to smile more. As I've been told by my missus, I don't smile enough on these things, so I'm going to try and smile more. It'll be more uncomfortable for me trying to smile than it will you watching me smile, because I'm a dour Yorkshireman and I don't do much smiling. But if you are enjoying the content that I'm putting out, then please hit that like button, please subscribe, and yeah, hit that notification button like it was one of your rods screaming off. Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you subscribe?
Already have.
There you go. He's he's giving it his blessing. So yeah, we'll crack on now with the session, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Land does his first cast. Always a big moment of any fishing trip. So we're not going to be spotting too much over the top of these baits. Probably maybe 2 or 3 spots per rod. But what I want it to look as attractive as possible. So what I've done is I've got my usual mix of pellets in there. This time low oil. I've put a lot of corn in there, and then I've also added this robin red ground bait to it, which I'm hoping will just create a nice red trail through the water column and act as an aiming marker for the fish down onto the rod. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some of the Smart liquid fruit and just get probably a teaspoon or 2 of that into a cup, add some boiling water, and then basically scald these pellets and this mix with that water, just to add like extra attraction. So that's what we're aiming for really. Nice little mix with maximum attraction that's going to hopefully bring the fish down onto the bait. Welcome to the YouTube channel, your first proper appearance on it, rather than just being filmed from afar. So we're fishing 2 slightly different methods today. I've gone for a very fruity, bright coloured mix, using a lot of the fruit Smart liquid from Mainline and some other bits that I've thrown in there, and a lot of corn. Al's gone for a slightly different mix, and he's just going to talk you through it. It looks absolutely phenomenal.
Smells amazing.
Yeah, it smells really good. So we'll see which of the 2 works, but yeah, over to you, mate. Just explain away.
Yeah, basically it's a mix of pellets. So we've got 3mm just like halibut pellets. We've got some 6mm red krill pellets, and then some really tiny micro pellets in there as well. Mixed with that is some hemp with coconut, and then a bit of sweet corn, and then to finish it all off, some krill cloudy liquid and some Mainline tiger nut syrup, which is what smells incredible.
Well, I'm absolutely crowing it this morning. We've had a storm come in last night. I can't remember the name of it now. It begins with an A. And Christ, yeah, knew about it. Yeah, heavy rain and wind throughout the night, like proper gusting. And then since maybe about 6 o'clock this morning, we've had snow on and off. The heaviest of it seems to have subsided for the time being, and it's just trickling down now, but by Christ, yeah, we've picked one hell of a time to come on the bank. The wind direction's changed now, and it's now hacking down into our end of the lake, which is anything but ideal. It is, we're in the shallower end of it, so I'm just trying to think what to do. I don't think Al's keen on cutting our losses and calling it quits here, so we need to think about how we're going to get a bite. I'm thinking about getting method feeders out, big fox ones I use, and basically getting scalded pellets so that they're warm, moulding them round them, as I've used that in cold weather before, and yeah, it's worked a bit. I think that little bit of heat seems to help the pellets initially release that oil that they've got in them, maybe, I don't know, but got no live baits with me, no maggots, anything like that, so can't really use those, because that's what I'd instinctively be going for right from the beginning of the session. But yeah, gonna have to do something to change it up. I've no intention of leaving here for the next half an hour at least, especially while I've got this absolute game changer with me. I've just filled it up again. Without this last night, whew, it would not have been fun at all. So I'm just going to continue to watch the water. If anything, all I'm doing is watching wildfowl mess around, because nothing is shown in this. Absolutely nothing. Particularly one Jim Roberts who's sticking in his DOS bag. So I'm gonna get some food on the go shortly and try and reevaluate, and then go from there as it's a new day. It's about 8 o'clock now. Been up since about 6, just watching and drinking brews and filling hot water bottles back up and things like that. And it is pretty miserable out there. Welcome to winter. Hey.
Well then, guys, as you've been able to see, it's coming up about 9:45 now, and the weather is it's not raining anymore, which is the positive. Just from being in the forces and things like that, anyone that's watching this at the army knows it's a lot easier to admin yourself in the cold when it's snowing, as opposed to just where it's lashing down with rain constantly, because at least everything that isn't touched by snow is dry, and generally speaking, if you wipe the snow away underneath it, it'll be dry. Probably not so much in this case on the boards, but you've got to try and find the positives in this weather, and I think we can certainly say winter is here early. So as I said to you when I did the morning introduction and when I was still in my sleeping bag, if I had the choice, I'd be down on the dam wall, but unfortunately there's a match, so we can't fish down there. I'd essentially be reeling in here during the day, going and spending 6 or so hours down on the dam wall fishing zigs or solids, and then coming back up here for the evening, but unfortunately we can't. I also said that I would probably fish maggots given the choice, particularly with the way that the weather's gone now. So rather than just admitting defeat and sitting here blanking for the next 24-36 hours, what we've done is we've decided to try and at least give ourselves the best opportunity. I mean, we paid for the tickets, so we're here regardless, so we may as well try and produce. So that's exactly what we've done. So I've just been down to Dannett's of Daventry, which is the local garden centre tackle shop, and they've got a good array of tackle down there, from sticky and mainline, corder, so it's all good. They also do a lot for match fishermen as well, so Drennan, Guru, all that stuff, but with that they also do a lot of these. Now I've got about 10 pints here of maggots. I've gone for 7 of red and then 3 of white, and hopefully that's going to change it up a bit. So the plan is I'm going to add a little bit of this essential IB to it. It's a very sweet flavour, and it's, what we're playing on is the idea that rather than yesterday where I was going off visual with just the red in the solid bag mix and my spod mix along with the yellow and also the high concentration of fruity flavours, a bit of visual stimulation I think is going to go a long way today, and I think that's probably what's going to produce the bites. The plan for this is small solid bags with my German rig but with a maggot clip on it, so when Alan talks you through his rigs later on, if he ever comes out of the bivvy and into this snow, because he's not stupid like I am, when we're showing you his rigs that he uses, I'll talk you through my maggot German rig as well, as it's a real funky little rig. Plan will be solid bags mixed with a lot of boilie crumb and primarily half maggots, with then a couple of half spods of maggots over the top. And the reason I'm doing half spods rather than just one full spod, it just means that I can separate the maggots out a bit more rather than just putting one spod and it being concentrated. So what I want to do is I want to create a bed of bait, probably the size of, what's that, maybe 2.5-3 foot wide by same again, so maybe like a 3-4 foot radius around an area where I'm going to fish both rods onto that spot, and just by fishing half spods that allows me to do that. So without further ado, I'm gonna start prepping this bait and try and make something happen. I mean, I think we're nuts. I think if Alan was here, you might shout in a minute, but we both agree if we can just get one fish between us for this session, I think we're doing really well in terms of where we've had to fish because of the match and the weather conditions and things like that. Yeah, one fish between us would be great. What do you reckon? One fish between us?
Yes.
That was a resounding yes, if you couldn't hear it. So yeah, I'm gonna crack on with this, and yeah, hopefully we get something, because right now all my family think I'm mental for being out on this, and I'd be inclined to agree with them, but they don't know half the fun of it. Right then guys, bit of an update for you. I think it must be about 3 o'clock now, do you reckon? Half three? Light's starting to fade, and yeah, it's been bloody unproductive, to be honest. I mean, we've changed now to maggots, and we've soaked them in that mainline IB, and yeah, I was feeling really confident, weren't you?
Yeah. My confidence went up when we moved to maggots, definitely did. Yeah,
it felt like we were actually fishing properly, didn't it? Or as much as we could do with the pegs that we're in.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just, it's not happened. The most entertainment has been seeing Landers snap off twice, losing both his spawns. So yeah, we're now down to my spider spawns for the win.
And I'm banned from spotting.
Yeah, he's banned from spotting. Not had anything really. I had one line bite, and I'm back leading, so I know it wasn't the wind or anything like that. So when I went to the tackle shop earlier on, it was 1 degree on the car's thermometer, and it was warmer than it is now. And
yeah, shivering.
With this wind chill, I'd probably say we're at least -2, -3, and it's freezing. More of the Saturday crowd have rocked up now, so we've got guys to our right, 2 peg down, and then we've just had two blokes appear on the peg next to me. So yeah, we're getting more and more hemmed in. The guys that are fishing the match, we've seen nothing coming out from them either, and they're further up the lake in the deep water, which is surprising, because even though with this poor weather, because it's up to 25-30 feet up at the front there, I would have expected it to have less of an impact on them, really. I think
if the fish were going to be anywhere, they'd be in front of those guys.
Yeah, and we've seen nothing all day from them, have we, really? Like we said earlier on, I mean, if it was up to me, we'd be on the dam wall during the day, but there's nothing really we can do because it's not in action. But yeah, I think we're going to get another takeaway, aren't we?
Something to warm us up.
Yeah, and just try and keep on going with the fish. I'm just casting solid bags out now, trying to nick a bite. You've gone for putting a decent bed of bait down approach, haven't you?
Until I lost the spawn.
Until he lost the spawn, but I mean, he's going to start using mine in a minute. So I've only got 2 spider spawns with me, so yeah, fingers crossed we don't lose any more tackle. As your attrition rate of tackle's been quite high this session. He's already lost his marker stuff, and now he's lost both his spawns. So yeah,
it's been an expensive trip.
It's been an expensive trip to come and freeze our tits off on blank, but yeah, we'll keep on going. We're still going on. We've still got a horse in this race, as long as we keep on active and baiting and changing bags every so often and things like that. So I've actually changed my approach again. Rather than just doing maggot straight on the German rig, what I've done now is put a little rig ring onto the shank of the hook. I've then tied on a pop-up and then put the maggot clip on top of that, so it's now kind of critically balanced, but I'm using these bright fluoro yellow and pink DNA wafters, so wrong, DNA pop-ups. So maybe that'll change something, particularly with me just casting around and things like that. At this point, I think I just want to pick off at least one fish.
Yeah.
I mean,
just a fish.
Just to hear the alarms.
On the bank as well.
Yeah. So we're going to crack on. Al's got to redo his left-hand rod. Yeah, we're going to start spotting back out onto Al's spot, and fingers crossed something happens. Because
touch wood.
came here because I've been getting beaten up on the club waters in the Cotswolds, and yeah, this is beating me up even more than there, so we're doing great, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh well.
It's tough.
Right then, let's get spotting. Whee!
Yeah, that's my high paw.
There's Mucker.
Right. I'll be taking off my gloves. It's so cold. I think we all have a towel like this at home. Not usually frozen though.
It's cold, isn't it?
Freezing. Baltic.
Al's thoroughly had the crap kicked out of him by the cold last night. I mean, to be fair, both of us have, but I mean, kind of to be expected in my little brolly, not so much in your big beast. So yeah, it's Sunday morning, about 8:30 now, isn't it? I think like that. We've just made some brews and things like that, and yeah, I think Al's going to get some bacon on for us in a minute, and we're going to start the slow pack down. We literally haven't made a noise all night. Have yours?
No.
No, heard absolutely nothing. We've really been through the mill with it with this Storm Arwen. We've gone from what you saw on Friday, the rain, to snow yesterday, sleet, and then everything frozen over today. So I think we're both about ready to call it. We've got to be off by 11 anyway. So I think we're just going to do ourselves a favour, aren't we?
Yeah.
Go a
Breakfast,
bit
pack up and go. Get warmed up in the car.
So yeah, it's been emotional. We've tried everything, and yeah, if didn't have things to do this afternoon and we weren't off at 11, I'd definitely be moving down to the dam wall today. We've had sets of anglers on either side of us now, haven't we? And we've had guys casting over your spots on the right hand side, so you know, there becomes a point where it just becomes an exercise in pointlessness. So yeah, it's been an interesting session, hasn't it? Not what we thought.
No, we expect at least one fish. If not one each, at least one between the two of us. But
yeah,
it's
but
been tough. There's not really been much out though, up and down the bank, speaking to people, everybody's struggled. So.
No, I didn't see anything come out yesterday at all.
No.
I saw the fish come out on Friday when we first got here, and you helped guide one, didn't you?
Yeah.
So at least he's touched a fish. Which is more than we can say. So yeah, for the time being, we're just gonna try and warm up a bit and get some bacon on the go, and look forward to the next session. You're out on queue this weekend potentially, aren't you?
Yes.
Up in York, and for myself, I'm actually off to Germany on Wednesday with work for a week of recce's and things like that. So I'll probably get out on Tuesday night maybe on the club water to use the rest of these maggots up that I've got
Freak out.
before they turn into casters and flies inside my van, and then after that back from Germany to Christmas, and I don't really know what I'm going to be doing fishing wise from there. I'll be on the club water before I head back up north to see the family for Christmas, but no proper sessions planned in. Off to Norton Disney with a friend of mine, Martin, over Christmas at some point. We're going to go to Billy's Lake with the idea of getting a few runs as well, but I mean that didn't really go to plan this time.
I didn't know.
So we'll see what happened, but I mean, hope you've enjoyed it. Fingers crossed Landers will be on a lot more of these vlogs in the future. It's been good fun fishing with him, and it's been good fun filming with him. So if you've enjoyed this vlog, then please remember to subscribe, hit that like button. Like it was fish screaming off into the distance. That would have been nice to hear on this session, wouldn't it?
If only.
If only. And yeah, thanks for watching and bearing with. Didn't really ever want to put out a blank session onto YouTube, but I think it was probably going to happen at some point over winter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome.
Alright mate, well thanks for letting me film you.
That's alright.
I've been like a tourist on you, haven't I, with the camera? So yeah, let's get that bacon on and
Absolutely.
get the out of Dodge. Right, see you in a bit.